It's not just talk, it's conversation that you can share forward. Arrow.net, ARROE.net. We are unplugged and totally uncut with Juliette Porter.
Good, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic. What is it like for you to be, we're watching you grow up on a flat screen. I mean, you're being watched. I mean, do you get to be yourself and get to grow up slowly, or are you growing up as fast as what we see you growing up as?
You know, I think I am really actually growing up that fast. It feels like, I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the cameras being on me, but I feel like things are happening really fast. And at the same time, sometimes I wish things would go faster. It's really interesting, but I'm really used to it now. So I guess just a lot of things happen in my life, a lot of crazy stuff. And it's like all of a sudden, you know, it seems like last summer was forever ago. So it does feel fast.
What I've always loved about MTV's Siesta Keys is the fact that it reminds me so much of the early days of vlogging. It was like blogging, but you were sharing your story through the video. And that's what's great about Siesta Keys is that we're following what you're living.
Right. It's really interesting. And it's something I've had to get used to, seeing people see everything I'm going through. But now at this point, I do like seeing, you know, a lot of people being able to relate to the things we go through. So it makes me feel like I'm helping out in some way. You know, some people don't have to feel so alone in some of these situations, or they don't talk about certain things that would help for them to talk about. And so they're seeing us go through some of these things that they're also going through, and they see that how we work through it and all of that. So it's definitely interesting.
I would love to see the reaction and the numbers of women as well as men that tune into the show, Siesta Keys, in the way that your relationship with Sam, you guys communicate. A lot of people on this side do not communicate, but through you, you're teaching them how to become, to build that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you say that. I felt like Sam and I had a horrible communication. And I think, I think this season you do see a lot of really relatable problems between Sam and I, and how sometimes two people just aren't necessarily compatible together, and how that simple detail can really make or break a relationship.
There's a lot of oh my God moments on Siesta Keys on MTV, and I always wonder how you guys, do you ever just sit there and say, no, stop the cameras? I mean, this is too much of an oh my God moment. I've got to be able to collect myself again.
Oh, yeah, that definitely happened. I remember there was a scene with Chloe when she found out that Madisson and Ish, our old producer, were dating, and Chloe looked directly at our director and was like, is this a joke? And he's like, no. And she started chugging her wine. So, yeah, we definitely have that. I mean, they have caught me, like, I found out that my ex-boyfriend was going to be a father on camera. And that was like, oh my God, that was crazy. But they don't miss a beat, the camera crew.
You know what's so funny? I mean, I don't know if you get to watch this in front of focus groups or anything like that, but when you roll your eyes or the different movements that you make, it's almost like I did it right there with you. We did it. And that's how much, you people watch Siesta Keys, is that they get used to your body language.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. There's definitely things I'm like, why do I do that? Why do I do that thing with my mouth? Or why am I fidgeting with my hands so much? I touch my hair a lot. But I think those are things everyone does.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I cut off my hair a few years back, is because I couldn't leave my hair alone. So now I still have my COVID-19 hair where it's in the middle of my back, and it's like, man, I just can't keep my hands out of it.
I love that.
So now when you are doing, on the show and stuff like that, you're still a student of life. What are you learning that you're going to one day teach?
I think a really important lesson that I learned this past season was to just really keep my cool and hold my head high and take the high road. And I think taking the high road can be really, really difficult. But I mean, because I did that, I'm so proud of myself. I think it put me in a really good position, and, just trying to do the best you can in life. I think good things come to you when you do that. So I think, if I could teach anyone anything, it's really try to keep your composure. And trust me, I've had to learn this lesson the hard way. My composure was definitely something I was very proud of myself.
Well, that
I learned.
That's what I
do.
That's what I call growing into a pair of adult shoes. It's because now you're showing leadership. And then people look to you for that sort of thing as well.
Right. And I hope, this past season, people do learn things from me and from other cast members, and because we're learning too, and hopefully they'll see the things that we do and they take something from our playbook.
It's a season that's based on finding yourself. Has the image in the mirror changed? In other words, when you go in there, I mean, there are times I'll go in there and it's not conceited. You just go in there and you talk to yourself going, okay, dude, so what's up? Let's break this down.
Yeah, I think I definitely have changed. I mean, I changed a lot over the last 6 months. I think I've really changed a lot because I really sat down with myself and focused on what I wanted in my life and what I didn't want anymore. And so I decided I had to cut out the things that weren't benefiting me, and I just had to take some time for myself and do things that I needed to do. I mean, towards the end of the season, I skipped town and I was like, I gotta go, guys. And they were like, but we have to film. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get out of town. So I left the country.
Wow.
And that was really helpful.
Oh my God. Right in the middle of a COVID-19 pandemic, you left the country. That's gutsy.
Yeah, I'm a citizen of this country. I feel like that's a little better, maybe. I'm vaccinated.
So what's in your future? Do you find yourself getting involved in the community in any way of maybe becoming a decision maker in politics or anything like that? Because you do have strength.
Well, that's funny. I'm a political science major.
Look
actually.
at that.
I don't think I see a career. I mean, honestly, politics is a scary game to get into. Mm-hmm. Everyone hates you in politics. You can never win. So I would love to one day, but maybe now's not the best political climate. I would say maybe someday in my future.
Well, I'll tell you, Siesta Key's on MTV right now is the perfect medicine. And the reason why is because people are looking to break away from the headlines and all that stuff. And you guys are giving us that storyline to follow.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's a nice, it's like a moment for people to kind of just break out of their normal lives and focus on something else, focus on someone else's problems and kind of being able to relate to that a little bit and also see how gorgeous Siesta Key is. Yeah,
because you know what they say, the reason why they have magazines at the grocery store right before the cash register is because everybody's life sucks when you're looking at the magazine, but when you get up there to that register and you pay $400, it's not as bad as Tom Cruise's life. I'm doing good. So I use your show as a great way to break free.
Right. It is a nice getaway, I think. I've been told that by a lot of people. And I think we've given the city their fair share of tourism. So you're welcome, yes.
So true. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. You be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. You too.